Good afternoon on what is a warm, grey and cloudy day. It is Wednesday, July the 3rd, and I'm in the reading up with a nice hot cup of tea and a box to continue unboxing. And what I've got in here is the Spike of Dosku, a final adventure, 3 new classes, a brief history. This is, in fact, I think this is issue Silam number 1, and this is for the Dungeon Crawl Classics role-playing game. Dungeon Crawl Classics is a role-playing game published by Goodman Games. It draws heavily for its inspiration upon the Appendix N, which appeared in the Dungeon Master's Guide of Dungeons & Dragons 1st edition, and is well supported with lots of different scenarios, even a couple of really good settings and more. And also have a sort of like a nicely developing, friendly community that supports creative content. So, welcome to Silam, the broken heart of Chalra. Discover the depths of Silam, a nation broken by civil war with mysteries under the surface to be discovered only by the brave and the daring. This inaugural, fully illustrated issue contains an original setting for DCC, a unique setting in which the common tropes of adventure fantasy are shifted and played with to create a novel experience. 3 unique classes: the secretive Slate, the hedonistic Lorth, the idealistic Icaran, all native to Silam, or to be used in your own game. A level 0 funnel adventure delving into the ruins of a druidic school of magic that thrusts your characters both into the dramas of Silam's civil war and uncovering its tragic history. Springboards the characters directly into a campaign of delving into the mysterious spikes of the 3 powers spread across Silam. Contains only original monsters ripe for pillaging, even if you don't use the adventure as written. Silam campaign setting, a brief history and overland map that, in combination with the setting funnel, would allow you to run your own Silam campaign, even if you never published and purchased another issue, but we hope you will. The story of Silam will be revealed through this series of signs. Future issues will contain an adventure every issue based on the spikes of the 3 powers spread across Silam, his survey of the cultures and peoples of Silam, for the role-playing times between adventuring, the deity of Silam detailed with specific tables for your cleric's use, new monsters, spells and magic items. And this is from Wizards with Laser Rifles. There we go, that's quite a blurb. There we go, there's a logo. Should that be Wizards with Laser Rifles? So we open up. Got a nice little dungeon map there. Frontispiece, of course. Author's note. Special thanks to playtesters. And the contents page. So the thing is, with this, I'm always on the lookout for fanzines to review. I do a regular feature of fanzines at bank holidays, so that's several times over the course of a year. And I focus on I focus on the fanzines and so like the small books that curators are putting out. And the thing is about fanzines is that they used to be kind of rough and ready in their appearance and quality. Now they are much more professional, and this is an example of one of those. So there's the map of Silam of the world, and it's followed by a brief history. Okay, so some nice illustrations. So it really is a nice looking product, even if you're not going to look at it, run it. But I mean, you've got a lovely looking book, nicely laid out, clean and tidy. We've got a character generation tables there. So, for example, if you're running the funnel in this scenario, you'd roll on this tables rather than the ones in the core book, because one of the features of Dungeon Crawl Classics is the character funnel, and it's sort of almost a rite of passage as a player to go through a Dungeon Crawl Classics funnel. If you're an author for Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's a rite of passage to write a funnel, because what happens in a funnel is you design a dungeon which will be played by multiple 0 level characters. Each player will control 4 characters, all 0 level, and if any of them survive, whether that's by their wits or luck, or the player's actual sort of like cleverness, then they survive long enough to gain enough experience points and gain a level and gain a proper class, and then go off and be a proper adventure and so on, as you would normally. But the funnels are great fun because the characters themselves, you become attached to them. you grow to like them, and you grow to like the other characters in the other people controlling, and you quickly sort of like you mourn their loss, and the fact that, you know, how they dive becomes important, and if they survive becomes important. So this is the first character. Full class is the Slate. Details of the characteristics, and then the Jarkon, and the Lorfs. Nicely illustrated. So these are kind of one of the other things that Junkral Classics does is race as class. So elf, dwarf, and halfling are classes. So you've got these full 4 pages devoted to each class. A bit more because you've got a Lorf spell list there. And then we've got the Spike of Dosku, which is the funnel, reprinting the dungeon floor plan from inside the front cover. Player start. And so on the various descriptions of the locations. And this is a bit more to it than, as I say, this is actually not just a dungeon. It was once a place of work, because you've got a faculty lounge. And that's really about it. All there is to the scenario really comes right down to the end in there. So it's all self-contained. You could literally just sort of like take that, run the scenario, put it back on the shelf, and we'll just wait for more content to come out. There's a little bit more to the setting, sort of like built into, as I say, presumably built into the setting, into the dungeon itself, into the funnel, and which you combine with that map. And you could actually, I suppose, take these, start playing with them right now. I mean, the other option with the funnel is to actually play it with first level characters. Might be a bit easy for them. You know, you wouldn't be taking 4 first level characters with you each. You'd be just taking 1, of course, as standard play. But better to do it as a funnel and find out who your character is before you start play. That's the great thing about the funnel. Anyway, that's the Spike of Dosku. Funnel adventure, 3 classes, and a brief history of a setting. What this does remind me of a little bit is the Wormwold fanzine that Necrotic Gnome put out, looking at the Dolmen Wood setting, which is a bit of a part work. I think this is a bit more directed. You've actually got more content. You pick this up and you can start using it immediately. So it's not a part work. It's a bit more better organized. But I like the look of that. I'm looking forward to giving this a good read and review in due course. Well, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you did, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be able to get more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a box containing a book or game, and this is the first issue of a fanzine detailing a whole world, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice little cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.